Hello everyone, we're live. Welcome to another stream. Just waiting for some comments to come in and we'll get it all started. I did watch a good film this afternoon. You've probably seen it, James. It's called Local Hero. It's from the 80s.
I actually haven't seen it. I've
You
seen
haven't
it
seen it?
mentioned a few times. I've seen it mentioned a few times, and I've seen it. I've seen the cover of it a few times as well in the shops, and I've always bypassed it. It's a guy. It's like just the cover's just a guy standing there, isn't it, with a hat or
Yeah,
something like that? Yeah. Is it? What is the story of that one? Is it that maybe
it's
it's
really
like
good.
Dustin Hoffman?
It's basically about an oil company in America, and the big honcho's like played by Burt Lancaster. And
All
he
right.
sends basically one of his underlings over to Scotland, a small village in Scotland, to basically buy the whole village, so they can do this big oil refinery.
All
Um,
right. Okay.
and it's got Peter Capaldi. It's like one of his very first things. Dennis Lawson's in it as well. Uh, yeah, it's really good 80s film. Yeah, I've not
Well,
seen
maybe it's what
many. What was that?
maybe it's what I
Sorry.
should have seen. I said maybe it's what I
Yeah,
should have seen then.
yeah. It's definitely it was a good watch. It was a nice, light-hearted, easy watch, and yeah, I've not really seen many like films like that from that time period, like the 80s, like British films that are like that from the 80s. But I like those sorts of films because they're just easy to chuck on and watch.
I'm just going on to my computer, and because while there's no comments, we may as well talk about the films we have watched this week.
Yeah,
And I'm just trying to bring up the bit that says what you've watched this week. And can I find it? Can I not? I had this all planned. I had a look at it earlier. So if you did that, because you do often ask what you've been watching this week, I was
yeah,
ready to answer, but I'm not quite there yet. I just can't seem to find it. The bit what you know when it goes watch again. Just can't seem to find it right now. Let me have a wee look and see. Honestly, I did have it all on my phone and I was ready and prepared, but now I'm not. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see if we can bring it up.
one comment. We can read that comment. Oh,
I can see it's from Oliver. Hi.
yeah. Hello.
I'm just trying to find this list. So, well, while I'm trying to find the list, what other ones have you been watching this week?
I watched The Car as well today with James Brolin. That was quite fun. Basically just Jaws, but a car. But
Again, that's not one I've seen, but is it on? Is that on the Arrow release?
yeah.
I think I have that, but I've not watched it yet. I'm just having a look at my Arrow ones over here. Pretty sure I've got that, but I've not watched it. Not watched it yet. Oh, I seen Roy as well was watching. It was a watching the Brood because Sam sent him that, and I was thinking I'll need to get that and get a copy. And lo and behold, I just looked at my shelf and I've got it. I didn't even realise I had it. It's, it's I don't know how I manage it, but I did. So lo and behold, it's sitting there. It's sitting there. Uh, yeah, I do. It's sitting there. That's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I didn't.
Tim's given me the DVD copy, but I've not seen it yet.
Well, I didn't even know I had that. That's
Yeah. That's what happens when your
yeah.
collection gets big.
Well, it does, but I say I tend to use that. I've got an app that I use to try and uh, add them all in, so you can take it with you when you're out and about in case you buy a duplicate or something like that. And to be honest, do have to keep it up to date, but I tend to forget that. But I did go into the charity shop about a week ago, and I found 15 or 16 John Wayne DVDs,
Oh yeah.
and I keep my DVDs in metal boxes because I've not got any space for them. And I decided before I actually put them away in there, I'll spend 15 or 20 minutes actually putting them on the database. So at least those ones will be updated on there. Well, I could talk about the ones that uh, I remember because I still can't find this list. But I did watch about nine movies last week, which was
Oh yeah.
quite a lot for me because during the week sometimes I get quite tired and I'm more likely to put on a familiar film than a new film, just because you do it because when you're watching a new film you have to concentrate a bit more on there. So what the first one I watched the original Assault on Precinct 13. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've seen that,
No, I've
and
not seen that.
I've seen the remake with Ethan Hawke, I think it is, and to be honest with you, I thought the remake was much better. Probably a controversial thing that I thought the remake was better. And I went to see if we could get a UK release Blu-ray of Assault on 316, the remake. And could I
Hmm.
find one? I couldn't, but I managed to find a Danish release of it. So I ordered that for like £7.60, so that's not too bad. So I watched the original Assault on 360. To me, I do like a lot of 70s movies in general, but maybe you have to watch it a little bit earlier or closer to the time because this one did seem really dated for me, really dated for me. But that was the first one I watched. The
Yeah.
next one watched was a rewatched was Oblivion with Tom Cruise. Don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I do like it, and I do like the twist at the end on that one. And I've rewatched that two or three times now. I do like that one. Then last night, sometimes when you're lying in your bed and you've not got much to do or whatever, you scroll through YouTube Shorts, and it sometimes brings up clips of movies, and a clip came up for Passengers. I was like, I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
Passengers, but I think I'll watch that. I think I'll watch that again. So I put that on last night and I watched that. A lot that got a lot of hate when it first came out. I'm presuming you've seen it, Passengers.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it at the cinema when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, if you were in that situation, so basically, there's a guy who is stuck on a spaceship and he gets waken up 80 years too early for the journey, and he's going to be alone for the 80 years, and he's got a choice. Does he wake up someone to be, along with for the ride with him, or does he? And he just happens to stumble across a beautiful woman. And to be honest with you, what would you do in that situation? Would you just leave her and be alone, or would you wake her, or would you wake her up? That's the question.
Well, yeah,
That's the
exactly.
that's the question. That's the question. And he does wake her up, but then he regrets it. Well, because obviously she finds out that he's woken up. But it turns out that the whole spaceship was going to be destroyed anyway, so he saved her life essentially by waking her up. But a lot of people were saying that's really bad, Chris Pratt waking her up, and I think it was a lot of hate for that movie. But I thought it was a good concept. I quite
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
I quite enjoy it.
Who's the guy that plays the bartender again?
Michael
What's
Sheen.
his? Yes, that's him, Michael Sheen. I do like Michael Sheen. One of the films I watched him in before was Frost versus Nixon. Have you
I've
seen
still
that?
got that to watch. Yeah, I got that in the pile to watch.
That's a really good performance from Michael Sheen as well, and it's a political thriller, so to speak, but it does keep you entertained. So I watched that. Then I like disaster movies, and I rewatch them all the time. And again, for some reason, I decided to put on Greenland again
Oh yeah.
with Gerard Butler. Meteors going to end the Earth, and they're all trying to escape from there. So I watched that as well. And for Amazon Prime movie, that's a pretty. Was that an Amazon Prime movie? I think it was exclusively on there at first, wasn't it?
I think in over here it was released via Prime because it came out during COVID. I think in America it was released by STX, which is a company that's now defunct.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think Lionsgate is releasing the sequel, which is supposed to be out this year. So we might get
Oh,
that in cinemas.
there's a sequel, is there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Greenland
That
Migration, I think it's called.
all right. Is it one that is Gerard Butler in it as well, or
Yeah, and was it who played his wife? Is it Morena
Mo
Baccarin?
Bacari, and yes, the
Yeah,
lady from
she's in it
Homeland.
as well.
Yeah, so
So
that's good. That's good. I'll look forward to that one then.
yeah,
Because I
be
say
interested to see how
I
they
do.
do it.
You know, I watched Greenland the first time, and the first time I watched, I was like, yeah, it's okay. But the more I watch it, the more I see things, and it's sort of grown on me even more and more. The more I watch it, that one. So I picked up the 4K of that, and I think I picked up for £7.61 off Railways or something like
That's
that,
not
which is
bad.
a great deal. Which is
Yeah,
a great deal. So especially for one you like to rewatch over and over again. I'm just trying to see what else I watched because I say because I was off for a couple of days. I did watch a little bit more because you know when you're sick you just kind of like do anything. So I was just lying there to be honest with you. And I watched a couple
yeah.
more films. I watched a film with Peter Dinklage in it, and he's in a again another end of the world.
Oh, I know the
Uh,
one. Is it got Elle Fanning in it as well? It's just the two of them, ain't they?
yeah, yes. I can't remember what it's called though.
Is it like
It
I
it
think
wasn't.
we should leave now or something like that? I
That's
think
right. That's right.
yeah,
Something like that. And
something along
Peter,
those
Din-
lines.
I do like Peter Dinklage as an actor. I think he's great. And I watched him in that. Obviously, watched him in Game of Thrones. I think what else did he's also in my favorite X Men movie, X Men Days of Futures Past.
Yeah,
He's in that as well, isn't he? Yep. And Uh, I just think he's a great actor. I also see him in the wee SNL sketch he does with Gwen Stefani, where he sings about his space pants. If anyone's not seen that, look that up because that's that's funny on there. So I watched that, and I'm just trying to see what else. Trying to see it was only this week I watched them. One was a Twister-like movie, but it wasn't Twister. I think it was called 13 Minutes.
yeah. I've not heard of that one.
13
The
minutes.
only other one similar to Twister that I've seen is Into the Storm, which is good if you've not seen that.
I have seen into the storm. That's where they tie down the big truck, isn't it? And
Yeah,
the sewage bit. Yes. So I watched 13 minutes, which is basically another tornado disaster movie. To be honest with you, it wasn't anything special, but I told you I like disaster movies, so I did try and watch that. Uh,
yeah,
I'm just trying to think of anything else I watched because I cannot remember for the life. I'm just going through this, and it sometimes tells you because you watched this. Yeah,
yeah.
what else did you watch? I'm just trying to find out. Let's have a look.
Trying to get the right angle because the glare is awful today. Oh, that I have to do.
I can see there is some comments there as well now.
Yeah, we can go through the comments
Yeah,
quickly.
well, while I try to find this, yeah.
I don't know what's going on. It's changed all of a sudden, and I used to be able to just click on a comment and it would just show on the screen. Now I've got to click on another button as well to put it on the screen. It's weird. Never used to have to do that last week. Oh well. Hello, Rafa Philandro. Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello, Gears. How are you?
I guess
I can't
it's
wait.
just me and Ollie today because everyone's sick.
Yeah, everybody's just decided to be sick on Monday.
Yeah.
I can't. To be fair, I actually did wake up with a sore throat this morning and thought I'm going to have a cold by the end of the day. But touch wood, I'm okay at the moment.
You've survived. You've survived. You've
Yeah,
survived. Um, Oliver saying, I can't wait for the Hunger Games 6 in November 2026. I've still not watched The Ballad of Snakes.
it's
Is that what's it
okay.
called? The Ballad?
Yeah, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. It's all right, but I think the only Hunger Games films that are any good are the first two. After that, I think they dipped in quality because they just went too far, I think. But the first two are obviously because it's the actual games, and I think that works. But then after that, it just becomes political and it goes all over the place, and I kind of just lost what was going on after that.
I've watched them a few times. I actually had them on my shelf and I hadn't watched them yet. And I was doing one of my usual, will I clear this out the collection or will I not? Well, it's not really fair to clear it out the collection if you've not watched it yet. And actually put them all on and see if you watch them all in a row, like one after the other, and not wait. Then the end two aren't too bad. But you're right, the first two are the better ones, I think. The last when it's Mockingjay Part One, I do like underdogs, dystopian, disaster type of things.
Yeah,
But actually was like I don't think this is. I think this is more teenage drama. I don't really want to watch that. But then I did put them on and I watched them and I've ended up. I say I've ended up keeping them in the collection. So not too bad. But I say haven't watched Songbirds and Snakes. I think Woody Harrelson plays a great character in the Hunger Games.
well, this new one is a prequel based around his character when he was in the Hunger Games. So I think that would be
All right,
interesting if they
okay.
get the casting right. I think that could be good.
Also, I've seen if you go back and watch it, Jack Reacher's in it, isn't he? He's in
He
one of
is,
them.
yeah. He is, yeah. He's yeah. There's a lot
I,
of
I
actors
also
that you look like Jack Quaid's in it as well. I think he's in the first one, isn't he?
think so, and I was going to say that I also didn't know that Alan Richardson was one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, he's one of the voices of the Michael Bay ones, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't want to reveal who the character was. They were told that they would get publicity and all that for doing that. And then at the end they went, "No, you're not going to do any publicity. We're shall we say, we're going to just pretend you're a turtle, so you can't get any publicity." So he wasn't too happy about that. I don't think. So I've seen a
Yeah.
few clips. Yeah, so if that's quite interesting. I didn't even know that this Hunger Games 6 was going to be based around this character. But yes, you say I have to get the casting right to make sure it is like a
I
Woody
think
Harrelson character.
I'm pretty sure the books literally just come out and they announced the film before the book even came out. So, but I mean, that's pretty tight. I mean, to get it filmed, the special effects and all that. I mean, they'd have to start filming fairly soon to get that release date, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, I have got now 4 Blu-rays of Final Cut Entertainment, a rare unknown UK physical media boutique label that collectors doesn't talk here in social media and YouTube. I've heard of it, but I don't know if I've got any in my collection.
I don't know what that is. Blu-rays of a final
I
cut
think the
entertainment. Is that
name,
the movie?
I think the name is of the like label is Final Cut Entertainment, and I've heard of it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell you any films that are on the label, and I don't think I've got any. Oh, hang
I've
on.
definitely not.
He said one of them. He says 1981 Deadly Blessing film was on Final Cut. I'm not familiar with that. No,
I've never heard. I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. I'm afraid.
no. Uh, Fabulous films. Yeah, I've got quite a few fabulous films Blu-rays in my collection. It's mainly, I think, Universal back catalogue films that they do. Um, but yeah, I have to look quite hard. It's a lot. I think was Twins put out on Fabulous Films. I want to say, yeah, I can just see it. Yeah, the re-release of Twins was put out through Fabulous Films, and
I've
I'm
got
guessing,
a I've got a triple pack German release, and it's got Kindergarten, got Twins, and another film in it. So I've not got the UK version of that.
Yeah, I've not got Kindergarten Cop, but I need that. The other one's probably Junior, because that and
That's
Twins are
correct.
very, yeah.
That's right. I got a German triple pack at some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Uh,
it was cheap and had 3 films on it. So there we go.
yeah. I recommend Heartstopper TV show series on Netflix because my celebrity crush, Kit Connor, played a character called Nick Nelson, who was my favorite character in Heartstopper. I've heard of it, but I'm not sure if it's my type of show. I think it's more for like younger people. It looks like more of a kiddie show to me, but I know it's got a big fan base. But yeah, I've never been interested in watching it.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it or heard of it. Not yet,
No.
anyway. Just till now.
Yeah. Larry's here. Bonjour, Larry.
It is indeed.
Uh, Marcus is here as well. Evening, chaps. Just thought I'd pop on for a little bit and say hello. Hope you all have a good stream, and I'll watch on catch up tomorrow. All being well. Thanks for joining. Bye. Getting my words out in a minute. Thanks for joining, Marcus.
That's great. Thank you, Marcus.
Have any of you experienced disc rot on any films in your collection, DVDs or Blu-rays? Probably, and I don't even know. I know you definitely have, haven't you?
Yeah, because I see I've got one that's got it on it, and it's a Warner Brothers release of the Bodyguard on DVD. But actually put the DVD into the player and put it on and played it the whole way through, and it does still work. But I've just kept the disc, so I'm basically one. I think one time in the next little while, it's just not going to work. So I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
I just test it every so often. Is there and there is also the dead format. Well, it's definitely a dead format of HD DVD. Have you got any of those?
No, I never bothered with any of those.
Well, I've got a few. I've got like 20 titles because I've got a player that you attach to the Xbox 360, so you
Hmm.
can watch HD DVDs on it. And I've got some HD DVDs up the top there, and a lot of them are Warner Brothers releases. And I guarantee you, these day ones will probably because they are all manufactured between 2006 and
Yeah.
2008 when the problem was happening. So I guarantee you, at some point they're going to do it. But to be honest with you, I don't really need them anymore. I should really get rid of the ones that I don't actually have. I've got what have I got up there? American Gangster, Superman Returns, Casino. I've got that on 4K now. Born on the 4th of July. I think they're all Warner Brothers titles, and I
I think
guarantee
Born
you
on the 4th of
that
July, Casino's Universal, I think.
could be my blindness for the top there. I can't quite see, but I suppose I could. I don't know how well this screen looks, but I could show people the disc rot if I can grab it. If you give me 2 seconds, I'll go and grab it and I'll show them.
Yeah, of course. Whilst you grab it, I shall just say, if anyone wants to join us on the stream, as it's just two of us tonight, let us know in the comments, and we can get the link sent over to you, and you can come and have a chat with us for a bit. But if anyone's interested, just let us know, and yeah, we can add you to the stream.
I returned. There we go.
You're back.
So yeah. So one of my Blu-rays, I used to do this with them. I used to keep the DVD. If I cut the DVD, I got an extra tray and I put
Oh
it
yeah,
in there. But now I'm even been doing it even more extreme and putting two Blu-ray titles in the same one and doubling up the sleeves. So I don't do that too often. But I kept the DVD on there. So here it is. Can you see? Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you can just see the top
yeah,
edge.
I
You see
can see
the
that. Yeah, at the top.
that is definitely rot on
Yeah,
there. At least I think it is anyway. But the DVD itself, I know it's a bit scratched up this disc as well, but uh, yeah, I think that's the other one. The other ones I've seen, I did buy these uh, copies DVD box sets of Pyro. Was it Pyro?
oh
How do you
Poirot. Yeah,
pronounce it?
yeah,
Yeah, Pyro. That's right. And I was, to be honest, I had no intention of keeping them. I had every intention of just because I think I bought them like for 50p each, and they traded for £4 and £6 each, and had like 5 things. And me being me, in the charity shop, I always find when I'm going through movies, I think it's quite. I don't know if I find it quite rude just to check all the discs to make sure they're okay, and when they're 50p, so I didn't bother. But then when I took them to CX, the discs were completely bronze. They were
Oh
just
god.
completely like so they were gone. They were gone as well, and I should have kept them for an example, but I just chucked them out. So I've not had it on a Blu-ray yet. I've not had it on a Blu-ray, but I'd imagine that uh, there'll come a time that happens, but I've not seen it on a Blu-ray yet.
I think as well, I think it's all down to the way that they're stored. I think if you store them in the right condition, I think they're less likely to get the disc rot. Like if you leave them in somewhere that's damp or it's got sunlight directly on it, I think you're more likely to get the disc rot. I mean, like I said, I've never actually, the only one I think I've ever seen it on is I bought a copy of The Business in a charity shop a few weeks back, and that looks like it could have been disc rot on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't think I can say I've ever seen any disc rot on a disc, which is good. But I know that there are a lot out there now that are getting them, and it's bad because eventually it means that that film you might not be able to get on physical media because if it was only ever released on DVD and it was years ago and they're all like getting disc rot, then you're not going to be able to see it unless you find it on streaming.
Unless you rip them and back them up. But
Yeah.
I don't have a Blu-ray. I don't have a Blu-ray player that attaches to the computer to do that. So just give me 2 secs, all right?
Yeah, no problem. Oliver says no rots for me. That's good.
My dogs were barking away there. I didn't think that was good for the stream, so I just turned it off. Turned it off for a second. Yeah, they're just going out for their 8 o'clock walk. My daughter's just taking them. So
I
there we
see.
go. But the thing with getting them at charity shops is that you really don't know how they have been stored. That's the only thing.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but I think it's more the charity shops that are keeping them in that, like their old storeroom or stuff like that,
Yeah,
rather than the people that are handing them in. But you just have to take that risk if you're doing it on a budget.
yeah, definitely.
I say, Roy, I'm on a like a messenger with Roy, and we're just checking he's all right because I say,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it was about,
he's still no well.
yeah, I think it was about 2 hours ago he messaged and he said he's got a bad migraine. Yeah,
Yeah, but
I bet
yeah,
he's just sat in a dark room.
he had that this morning, so that's a long time.
Oh, it's this morning. Yeah, that's a long time to have it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm sure he's surviving. But see, the other thing is that 4K discs they hold an immense amount of data. So if they ever started to degrade, even just in the slightest, I I've heard story. I don't know if this is rumors or fact, but if you put a Blu-ray, a 4K into your player, okay, and you put in pause, you know how the laser's trying to read the disc over and over again.
yeah, yeah,
Even I've heard even that can damage your 4K disc to the point it
yeah.
won't play. Have you seen the movie collector?
I've not. No, I don't think so.
He's an older gentleman. He's a movie collector. He has a YouTube channel and he's got a cinema in his house.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's really cool. So if you ever going to have a look at it, it's movie collector. I quite like watching his shows. He shows 4Ks. He reviews them on his screen. He reviews them on the TV. He also shows some film projection of an IMAX. I think he showed the film projection of the Oppenheimer IMAX, how it's all done and all put together. And he said
Yeah,
he's got a few 4K discs that played fine the first time we watched them, but now they won't play at all already. So that for me that's a big concern because the 4K discs aren't cheap, you know, and
Well, I think I've
if they're
actually
not
got that
working after a
problem.
couple,
I
you
think I
think
might
so?
have that. I watched Batman Forever, the 4K disc of that the other night, and I looked before I put it in, and there was no scratches on it. And it got towards the end, and I reckon about 10 minutes of it, it just kept freezing and just stopping, and then it like obviously skipped to the next bit. So I don't know whether that could be like some sort of disc rot or the way that maybe it was paused. I don't know, but there's definitely no scratches on the disc when I checked.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that you've got to look out for because the 4K discs are packed with so much data. The
Yeah,
tiniest imperfection can cause that. And the players you have to be really precise to get that data as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Andy's here. Hello, Andy. If you're still watching, if you want to join us to chat, you're more than welcome to if you're free. Uh, who here
and
has watched?
I'm not speaking to Andy because he beat me in the quiz last time.
I know. Well, we had Pete from Pedro's Movie Cavern on last week, and he smashed it. He was like Andy, he
I,
just went through all of them.
I did see bits of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
Who has watched Thunderbirds Argo 1966 film? No, I've never watched any Thunderbirds. Have you seen Thunderbirds before?
I've seen the series, and I'm pretty sure I've seen bits of the film, but I've never seen the whole thing. No, but
Yeah.
it's same guy that did Terrorhawks, isn't it? I did
Yeah.
watch Terrorhawks when I was a kid.
Is it Jerry Anderson?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always remember the circles from the Terrorhawks. They were like balls. They were like robots. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the evil Zelda from that. But I've never
Yeah.
seen the film.
Uh, what films everyone here on chat want to see in nearly soon on Blu-ray and 4K? I think what he's trying to say is, what do you want to see come to Blu-ray and 4K over here? Lots of
Well,
stuff.
yeah, lots of stuff, and there's a few. And you know what? You say you do that, but you can't own them all. It's just too expensive. Like
It
there's
is, yeah.
Sevens came out recently. I want to get that. Substance has came out. I want to get that. You
Yeah.
know, there's quite a few, but some of I've always said I want to see. This will never be released on 4K over here. I don't think, and that is my favourite Kevin Costner film that I was going to show you,
Oh, is
but
it The
it's not over
Postman?
here. Yes, The Postman. I want that.
Still not
I would
seen that.
also like. I would also like Armageddon. I think that
Oh,
would be
I'd
good
love
on 4K.
that. There's a chance of that because we're getting Tombstone on 4K, and that's Disney, and we got The Sixth Sense and Signs last year, so there's a chance of Armageddon getting a 4K.
That's right. What was the one you just said before Armageddon? You said Tombstone. Yeah, that'd be a decent
Yeah,
4K, wouldn't that? As well.
yeah,
But with your collection, I'm on a budget. I try and upgrade when I can. I try and get bits and pieces here and there. I actually ordered a what one was it ordered on Blu-ray that you couldn't get? It was Assault on Precinct 13 because you can't get that in the UK, the remake one. And also want to order The Bridge at Remagen. It's a war film, and I watched that recently on Prime. And I was like, why do I don't own that on Blu-rays? Because there isn't a Blu-ray over here. So you have to get that. There's lots of German ones that you want to get your hands on. I don't know if you've seen Flight of the Intruder with
I've heard of it.
William Defoe. I think it's Danny Glover, is it? Could be
Oh
wrong.
yeah, 90s film, isn't it? Early 90s, I think, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
Paramount, I
and
think, released it.
they basically are going to bomb Vietnam against Hanoi against orders. So yeah, that there's absolutely loads you would like for that. I'm going to mute again.
Well, I did see as well that Stuart put in the chat. our chat earlier today that he said because it's obviously is it the 35th anniversary of Dances with Wolves this year. He said that be good to get a 4K release of that this year, which would be good to see.
I'm a big Kevin Costner fan, I am, but that isn't a favourite of mine. I have watched it a few times. I just think it's a bit long.
I like
And
Kevin
a lot of his
Costner as
films,
well.
that's just not one of my. I've got it,
Yeah, I've got
but
it
it's
as well.
just not one of. It's just not one of my favourites. I've got two of his other ones up there on 4K already. Thanks to Larry, he sent me them, which was very nice of him. Which is where is it? Half my collection I wouldn't have if it wasn't for Larry. I don't think, or I probably would have got them eventually myself, but I've got them
Yeah,
sooner. I've got Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, the only Kevin Costner without an English accent, doesn't try and put an English accent on in there,
yeah.
and a lot. I keep saying a lot of people, but I think a lot of people didn't like this when it came out, but I really enjoy it, and it's Waterworld.
Waterworld, yeah, I like Waterworld as well.
Yeah.
Basically like a
Also,
water version of Mad Max, isn't it? Basically.
yeah, and there's longer cuts on these Arrow versions. The Ulysses cut. I don't know if you've seen that one, because it's got a lot more bits in it. But Jack Black's in Waterworld.
Oh, is he? Couldn't even remember that.
Well, that's because most of his scenes are cut,
Ah,
but he is heavily made up in it, and the
yeah,
ones that you see him in, yeah, the plane that comes in and starts to attack the boat. He's the
yeah.
pilot,
Ah,
but there's more scenes with the pilot sitting in the tanker and speaking to Dennis Hopper that's on this cut that's not in the main film, shall we say. So the Ulysses cut I think is 40 minutes longer than
yeah.
the other one. So and if you're going to get a movie, you want to. I did have the Blu-ray version of that, which I sent to Roy uh, when I got the 4K. But yeah,
Yeah,
I do enjoy
I
that one.
think I've just got the Universal release, the old Blu-ray release I've got. But yeah, I would say my favorite Kevin Costner films probably The Bodyguard and Robin Hood, I would say.
Roy won't like you. He doesn't like The Bodyguard.
Roy doesn't like a lot of things. He'll help you for saying
He's
that,
a,
but there's a lot of things that you would expect someone to like, and Roy just doesn't like them, and I don't get it. Like he hated Grease, he hates Forrest Gump, he didn't like Dirty Dancing. But then
me, me,
everyone has big films that are generally liked that they just don't get. Like I'm like that with like The Godfather and Apocalypse Now and like those films. Like I don't get them, but they're generally really loved films.
Yeah, but we all have different ones, and I was watching Roy's weekly watches yesterday, and there was quite a few films I did agree with him on. The ones I liked. What was it? He was Independence Day. I really enjoy that film.
Yeah,
Again, I seem to like when it's a good film that I really like. I really like the added bits with the extended cuts. I like to watch the extended cut of Independence Day where he's doing a little bit more with the signal and stuff like that.
yeah.
And what was the other ones? Oh, Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah,
I
he really
watched
liked
that
in that
last
one as
week as
well.
well. We watched it at the same time last week. I said it was
Yeah,
quite funny that we just both decided to watch it at the same time, but that's a decent film, yeah.
yeah, and Behind Enemy Lines is, I think, is sort of a It's not. I don't know if it's. Is it based on a true story? Behind Enemy Lines. I'm not
Yeah,
quite
it's
sure.
based on like a fighter pilot in the early 90s. It actually happened to him.
Yeah, and because there's a similar story. There's a similar story of the movie Bat 21 with Danny Glover and
Yeah,
Gene Hackman. I don't know if you've seen that,
yeah, I've heard
but
of it.
it's
I've not seen it though.
basically Gene Hackman's the pilot.
Yeah. Uh, hello, Sai. Evening, Sai. Oh, The Untouchables is my favorite Kevin Costner film. Have you seen that film? I have. I need to get the 4K of that. I do really enjoy The Untouchables.
I've got the 4K. I've got the 4K of that, and Sean Connery, and that's great as well. He puts
Oh
one of
yeah, he's
yours in the
really good.
hospital. He puts one of yours in the hospital. We put one of his in the morgue.
He won an Oscar for that, didn't he? I think.
I don't know, but if he did, he should have. He should have, because it was a great performance.
Yeah, I'm
And
pretty sure he did
actually,
win an Oscar for that.
I quite like Andy Garcia in it as well. When
Yeah,
they
he's
go,
good. Yeah,
when they go to recruit him, when he goes, "I don't like this Italian waff," and he puts his gun and he goes, "Yeah, I like him." And Robert De Niro plays a great Al Capone
yeah,
as well. Yeah, yeah. That is a. I have to say that is a shout for for that. That probably is one of
definitely.
the top of the list. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Tom.
Aye.
Tom has just finished watching the Crew remake and thought it was actually decent. I did notice that's just. I think that came on. I got a notification. I think that came onto Prime today.
It
But
is
I've
on
been.
it is on Prime. Yeah.
I'm very apprehensive to check it out though because I watched the original for the first time at the start of the year, the 4K, and that's one of my favorite films now. Absolutely loved the original Crow. So I'm very apprehensive to watch the remake because I've heard very mixed things. I probably will watch it at some point, but like because it's on streaming, it's easy to watch, isn't it?
Well, that's true, but I actually got that on Blu-ray in my mega charity shop haul,
Oh yeah, I think yeah, you got loads of
which
new
is
stuff, didn't you?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. I walked in and there's 36 Blu-rays or something, or was it 18, maybe 18 Blu-rays, but they're all new stuff, and I was like, I didn't, because it was lunchtime, I didn't even have time to go through them. I just took the lot.
Yeah.
Went and say so. There's a lot. Like I got Immaculate as well. Still to watch that. Long Legs.
Oh yeah.
Loads. There's loads of them. Sometimes you think I should just trade them in and buy them back later because they're just losing their value sitting there.
Yeah.
But they're in my collection now, and that's ready for me to watch when I'm ready.
Yeah.
But I've not seen it yet. Not seen it yet.
No. Have you seen? You've seen the original though? I take it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And but I actually only seen the original recently. Was my wife said you've got to watch it, and yeah, and obviously the guy died during filming it, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
notice that it's changed. Yeah, Connery won
Connery
Best
won
Supporting.
Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars for Untouchables. Yeah, I thought I heard something about him winning that year.
He should have, yes.
Yeah. Uh, just finished watch the Mandy 28 film starring Nicolas Cage. I've heard that's a decent Nicolas Cage film actually, but not seen it.
I have seen it, but it was a while ago, and I remember much about it. I think Mandy's his daughter in it, and she's sick, and he has to do something to get her fixed. Like that's all I remember. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, it's got another recommendation here. No Way Out with Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman is a quality 10 still. I've not seen that one.
How on earth they're all coming up with great Kevin Costner films now? So that's No Way Out with Kevin Costner and Gene
Field
Hackman,
of
and
Dreams. I love Field
I
of
actually don't like.
Dreams.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Oh, I just
I
love the
don't like.
just fantasy elements to it.
Well, when I say I don't like it, it's not. It's not one I'd go out my way to rewatch. Is what I
Yeah,
would say. Is what I would say, and that's a big factor in how much I like a film is whether I can put it on time and time again. And Field of Dreams just isn't one that I would put on. I have got it, of course, but I just wouldn't put it on when my No Way Out has only got recently released over here in the UK, and it's a really new label that's got, and it's £20 for the Blu-ray. And I seen it on Music Magpie, and they went and sent me the Region, the music. It
I
was
remember that.
£11 a
Yeah,
week, and they sent me the Region A, and I had to send it
yeah,
back. And then I actually went on to Wow HD because Wow HD said they had the 4K of No Way Out for £23. I was like, well, if I'm going to pay 20 for the Blu-ray, I may as well get the 4K for 23. and then they added postage, and postage is a bugbear of mine. And
Yeah.
it put up to £28 or £27 or £28. I thought that just puts it beyond my limit for now, so I'm just not doing that.
They have got
CX
that was
postage really
released,
bugs me.
but no way out. You can get that exclusive. There is a UK release for that now that came
There
out
is,
last
there
year.
is. It's on Blu-ray, yeah. It's £20, but what I'm saying is the 4K's out, so that the Blu-ray
Yeah,
is still the Blu-ray is still £20. So I thought
yeah,
I'm going to get it. I may as well get the 4K for 23. And then they added postage on it, and I was like 28, and I thought 28 is too much for a movie.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well, for an individual movie, unless I've got vouchers or CNCX or it's a birthday or something like that, it's just a bit much for an
yeah.
individual. I have bought occasionally ones like that. Well, I did buy myself No Escape on Blu-ray with Ray Liotta one year, and
Oh
that was
yeah.
just the Blu-ray. That was just the Blu-ray. It was the Australian import. I think I paid £40
Oh
for it. I must have been feeling flush or something.
yeah,
It was my birthday. I thought I really want that, and I'm going to get it. And but actually, I don't have it anymore because I've got the 4K. But now, so
yeah,
that's even better. Yeah, but No Way Out is a great one as well, and it's also got the bad guy from the Postman in it, and is it Jamie's dad in Yellowstone? What's his name? He also plays a general in Fallen Skies.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Oh, I like Fallen Skies, a good TV, good 5 series, Alien Invasion TV series.
What was the other
Good fun.
thing you said he was in?
He's in Yellowstone. He plays Jamie's father. He's in the Postman. He's the leader of the bad guys in the Postman,
Oh,
and
Will
he's in No
Patton.
Way Out. That's him. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I think he's in a lot of films,
yeah.
with
He's
Kevin
in
Costner.
Armageddon, I think, wouldn't he?
That's right. He is. So yes, he
Yeah,
is as well. Yeah. So I do like him as well. So he's in the No Way Out as well. And I do like the twist at the end of No Way Out. That's a great twist. I don't
yeah.
know if you've seen it. You've not seen it.
No, I've not seen it yet. No.
Okay.
Uh, did you know that the main baddie in Mandy is Ken Barlow's Coronation Street son in real life? He said Linus Roach is his name. Yeah, so that's William Roach's son, and I think he recently got the award for the longest serving soap cast member, because I think he's been in Coronation. Well, he was in the very first episode of Coronation Street, I think, but I didn't know because I've not seen Mandy, but I did know his son was Linus Roach. But yeah, interesting bit of trivia still.
Is indeed old Ken Barlow. Is he still in it?
Yeah, he's still going. He's 90 something, I think, now.
And his arch rival. I've never kept up with the soaps, but my mum used to watch them before she died, so I was quite up to date on them all because every time we went in the living room, it was on. So
Yeah.
yeah, is Mike Baldwin his rival?
Yeah, because he died in his arms, didn't he, years ago?
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, Evening, lads. Vastly underrated. Hello, to start with. Vastly underrated Costa movie is 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Amazing cast too. That's the Elvis one where with Kurt Russell where they're robbing the casino, isn't it? I think I've seen bits of
Uh,
it.
is indeed. I have seen it, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Big P's Al Pearson, by the way. Hi, Al.
Oh, it's Al. Hello, Al. I did not know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I wonder if that's on Blu-ray. 3,000 Menace to
I
Graceland,
think
because
there's an
you
American
know
import. I'm pretty sure
this
there's
is
an American import and it's ridiculously out of print now because I've looked for that one before. And I think the only one that came up when I looked was but it may have been released because Germany are doing a great job at releasing all of this stuff.
see when people come up with these, I'm thinking, why are these not in my collection? And if they're not in my
Yeah,
collection, there's a reason. There's a reason why. It's probably because they aren't available. Because I
yeah.
would have seen them in the I would have seen them in the CEX. 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Let's have a look.
Oh, Al said there is a German import.
There's a German one now. Yes, so that is. I'm just going to switch to Amazon Germany, and I'm going to add that to my wish list. Which
Yeah, I think I'll
usually
do
at
the
the start,
same after.
yeah, usually at the start of the month, I do try and get. Well, I don't want to say try and get. I'll usually got a few on my list, and I then buy them on payday.
Yeah,
Is it? But I had four in my basket this year, at this payday, and then I never done it. I don't know why. But I'm going to add it right now.
I
3,000
tell you
miles.
another new Kevin Costner film that I had to get imported. I think it's the American release. It's Disney. It's called McFarland USA. I don't know if you've seen it. We're about the track team.
I
That's
have
a good
seen
one.
McFarland USA. That is a good one. That is a good one as well. Where they've not even got any they've not got any trainers. They're running in shoes and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one. That is a good one. I have got the DVD of that, but I've not got the
I
Blu-ray.
think the
Well,
Blu-ray
just
that I got was quite cheap. It's the American. It's region free. I mean, it's obviously. I think a lot of the Disney titles are region free, unless it's the Disney
yeah,
Movie Club stuff. But yeah, I'm glad that I got that. And another one I want to get, which I've seen. Again, you may know more. I don't know where the best place to get it is Draft Day, because I really like that one as well.
I've got Draft Day. I just trying to think what release it is. Give me 2 seconds. I will tell you. I'm just adding that 3,000 miles to Graceland on the list, and it's cheaper on Amazon Germany than it is on Amazon UK by £4. So it's well worth. And that's the other thing, because when you get two or three titles from Amazon Germany,
Cheaper.
they generally only charge you one postage of £2.52. So
Yeah,
you're better getting two or three to split. I'll just go and check what Draft Day releases. Give me 2 seconds.
yeah.
I'll have a look. Let's have a look. I'm over here. There is Draft Day in
Al
my
said,
Kevin
I've
Costner
held on to
section.
my DVD because I will buy the German, then Arrow or Second Sight will release it. Always the way. That happened to me once. I got a German import of something I really wanted, and then a week later they announced that one of the boutique labels was releasing it. But once you got it, you got it at the end of the day, unless you want to get all the fancy booklets and stuff. It's the film at the end of the day, for me anyway.
I don't know what language this is. I think it's German, but it says it's region free. So
Yeah,
it's region free. I wonder if it's got a double. It is German because it's got. I must have
yeah.
turned it round, so it's German. But yeah, so yeah, it's
I have
got a
to look
wee
into
zero
getting that one.
indicator on it. Yeah,
That
I
was
don't think
Ivan
I paid
Reitman's
that
last
much.
film.
Yeah, I don't think I paid that much for that one.
No. I did get the other day I went on to Amazon Germany and I got Stuber, which came out a few years ago now, and Rules Don't Apply, which is Warren Beatty one. I think that was quite cheap. They were both under £5. Always good to look. If you can't get it over here, always look on. I always just go, the first thing I do if I want to know if it's got a Blu-ray release, I just go to blu-ray.com and my go-to is Germany. If it's got a German release, I'll usually go for that because you can usually get it because obviously the postage isn't too much and you can get them secondhand. I think my Stuber was about £1.50, and then obviously I had to pay postage on top of that, which brought it to about fiver, which is really good considering you can't get it over here. So that's quite cheap. So
Well,
quite
the
happy with that.
decent one. Well, the four I had in my basket, and I had them in my basket at £5 each. But guess what? They've all went up in price.
Yeah,
I had the Devil's Advocate, so I don't think
I've
you
got
can
that
get
one.
that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can you get it over here? I don't think you can.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you get, you
I got
can't.
the UK
I think
Blu-ray.
it. I think it must be out of print, so that's probably why I've got it in my Amazon
I
Germany
got it
basket. Or it's
for
yeah,
£6 in CEX. I think about
that's a good
3
deal.
months ago.
Roy just messaged me. Let's see what he's saying. He says, "Always a good lad. I'll watch the stream tomorrow." So there you go.
There you
Uh,
go.
and I'm just having a look. I've got US Marshals in my basket because I've always wanted
Oh,
to get
that's a
that
good
one
one. Yeah.
on Blu-ray because there's no UK of that. I've got Ransom with Mel
Is that
Gibson in
how
my
much is
basket.
that now? Because that went out of print, didn't it? Because I could only see. I think there was an Australian release and an American release, but when I was looking on eBay, I couldn't see it because that was what I wanted to get because it's Ron Howard, isn't it? But
Yeah, but last time I looked, it's £8.49 on Amazon Germany. But
that's
I
not
say
bad.
I have those all in lists, and I say when I see them on offer, that's when I generally buy them.
Yeah,
Because they usually go up and down. I say Devil's Advocate, U.S. Marshals, and Tequila Sunrise are the deal where if you buy three, it says save 25%. So that probably works out at £15 anyway. Cause Tequila
yeah,
Sunrise with Mel Gibson, I don't think you can get that.
yeah. You can get that
It's
over
like
here. That's got blue. I think that only came out a few years ago. The Blu-ray for that.
okay. Well, let's say it must be. It's usually on my list because it's either out of print or more expensive than Amazon
Yeah,
Germany.
yeah.
Shall we say? And I say the last one I said that's in my list is the Bridget Remagen. So I had those four, but I never done it, and Teddy's gone, so I'll have to wait till next time.
I got a
But
cracking
I'm
deal
just
years ago
on.
on Amazon Germany. It was just a few years ago now, and I've still got it. I've still not watched all of them. It's 9 westerns, and they're fairly big westerns in a very slim Blu-ray case. And I think I got it for
I've
just
got
under
that.
£15. And I think they released 2 or 3 volumes. I only got the first volume because I had the big films. Like I think it's got True Grit, Gunfight at the OK Corral, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, all of the big classic Paramount films. But I've only seen 2 of them so far.
I've got one of those volumes,
Yeah,
but where it is, I do not know because I think when I sometimes order from Amazon Germany, if there's one myself and Roy and Larry like, I usually sometimes order 3 copies, and I just send them in their boxes. They send me
yeah,
stuff, I send them stuff. So
yeah.
I think I sent Roy that. I think I sent Roy that one. There's also Striking Distance. I just got that recently because that's got no UK with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So quite a few. It's just amazing how many mainstream films just aren't released.
Yeah, it is, really is. Don't know, and there's not really any reason for it. It's just the studios just can't be bothered to release it over us. That's why we're fortunate that we can get these German imports pretty cheap, because otherwise it'd be near impossible to get them.
There's a German
Yeah,
release that I sent to Al. It's A Perfect World on Blu-ray. That's a good film with Kevin Costner as well.
I had
And
the Dutch release, I think, and then when I got my Clint set, I got rid of that.
well, I've got a Clint set with A Perfect World in it as well, but it's
Yeah.
not the big set you've got. I've got the black Clint set with 35 films in it. I think
Oh
it is
yeah. Is it
35.
in the it's in a box still, isn't it? Like a rectangle box, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
and I've got a white Clint box with 8 films in it, and then I've got
Yeah, I know that one, yeah.
then I've got the Dollars trilogy with Hang 'Em High and another one and a Dirty Harry box set. So yeah,
Yeah.
just about got them all.
I
and
mean, for
yeah,
me,
them.
it was worth getting that Clint box set because at the time I didn't have lots of his films, and he's one of my favorite actors. So it was a birthday present. I think I got one of the last copies in CEX. Luckily, it came in good condition for about, I think it was £300 because it's very rare now.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's
but I'm very glad that I've got it because now I know that I've got all of his films.
perfect. I've got most of them, but there's still a few I've not got. I've still not got Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. I've not got the
That's only
Mule
on
yet,
DVD.
although Thunderbolt Lightfoot's got a Blu-ray. It's just not got a
Oh,
UK
has it?
one. Yeah, and
I'll have to try and
that's
get
why I
that
was
to go in a set.
well, that's why I was said I was surprised it's only got the DVD in your set
Yeah,
because there is a Blu-ray of that. I think Roy and Larry have got it, and I've also not got the second Ape movie. Well, I've got I can't remember which one
is it
it is
Any
Every
Which
Way
Way
Loose.
You Can, the second one? Because I think the first one's Every Which Way But Loose, isn't it? I've seen that
Yeah,
one. I've not
yeah.
seen the second one.
I think the second one's better.
Is
It's
it?
still
I'll have to watch that.
comedy, but I think it's a bit better
Right
the
Hook
second one.
Lied.
Yeah, but the second one is the second one must be in that set, isn't it?
They're all in there.
Yeah. That's right. So I think the second one's better. It's got a better fight at the end. I think it's much better. The first
Yeah.
one where they just end where they start punching each other. There's a different Tank Murdoch in the second one, and it's better. It's better, I think.
Yeah.
A Perfect World. Oh yeah, that is a
Good
great
film.
movie, and
Yeah.
I imported it on Germany until I got that. The reason I got the black Eastwood set is because I really wanted Space Cowboys
Oh yeah, that's
and
out of
Space,
print over here now.
and it was like 11 quid, and I could
Yeah.
get the whole Clint Eastwood set for 35. So I thought may as well get the whole set for 35, and then I can I distribute my other ones, shall we say, which I did.
Yeah. I watched one of the worst films I have ever seen on Saturday. Shiver Me Timbers is a Popeye horror film. It's only 1 hour 14 minutes long, but somehow it felt like 14 hours and 1 minute. Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, I stay away from those sorts of films. They don't interest me one bit.
I've watched a few worst films, but to be honest with you, I'm not one for getting in any worst films. I turn them off.
Yeah, just if they're crap, just don't watch them. Yeah,
Yeah, if I get a film and I'm not enjoying it, I might go back to it another time, but I turn it off. So there you go.
yeah. Al said, good 50% off sale in HMV just now, guys. Yeah, I
I was
saw
actually
something in one of the Facebook groups about that.
I was actually looking it up just before I came on the live stream, but I never got anywhere. But I was I was in it. I was in it because I seen there was a lot of 3.99 Blu-rays,
Yeah,
and guaranteed there'll be ones in my that I've not got in my collection. But you can get carried away spending
yeah, you can.
on movies, and I've got I've got I'm just trying to think. I've got 5 or 6 pickups that I've got sitting over there from last week, and it does mount up. So you've got bills and things like that. You've got to be careful.
Yeah, yeah. What else? We got to the end of the comments for now, so I'll tell you what else I've watched recently. I watched Tron Legacy again yesterday. First time that I'd seen it for quite a long time, and it's actually pretty decent.
I like Tron Legacy.
Yeah,
It got a really hard time, but I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
I've got one of the toy light bikes, and you
Oh
know
yeah,
what's really have you got? I take it. How did you watch it? Have you got the Blu-ray?
yeah. I got the double pack Blu-ray. Yeah.
Well, I did have the double pack, but I seen these really really nice Disney slips for Tron Legacy,
Oh
and
yeah,
I could not
yeah. That is
resist.
nice.
And the original one's even better, I think, well, maybe. But I just thought I just couldn't resist how good they were. So
See, for
they're ones
me,
that
I didn't get on with the original. I thought I don't know whether it's because of because of my age now and the time I've watched it, but I just thought it felt quite dated. Whereas the new one, I'd seen that before, and I think it's more the technology's much better, and that helps
yeah.
with the story. I think.
Well, that but the Tron Legacy, Tron at the time when it came out, that was state of the art
Yeah,
graphics.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
you can see how dated it is. But sometimes when you watch films like that, you've just sort of got to like dismiss that like this is and just go with the story. But you're right. I thought I liked them both, but I did like Tron. I did like Tron Legacy, and I really liked how they related it to the how his dad was still stuck in the computer and he had to go and he found it
yeah.
in the 80s. I thought it got a really hard time when that came out, but I thought it was
I'm looking
really good.
forward to the new one as well. The new one looks quite good. I saw the trailer for that. That looks like it could be quite good.
Yeah. And another Disney movie that Nicolas Cage was in, again, I really liked it, was The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah, that
I
came
thought it
out the
was good.
same year, didn't it?
Yeah, and
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
that got a really hard time as well, but I enjoyed that one as well.
Prince of Persia as well. That was another one.
So that yes with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all came out at
that's
the same
another.
time but flopped, didn't they?
Yeah, and that's a really good one as well. Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Yeah, I thought that was a good one too. maybe I just like flops. I don't know, but
Well,
they
the
were
biggest Disney
certainly.
flop was that John Carter, wasn't it? I think I've seen it, but that flopped big time, I think.
I've got it, and I think I wanted to watch it once, but I did turn it off. I don't think I turned it off because I was bored of it or anything. I think I fell asleep and I never went back to it. So,
Yeah,
but I think a game that gets a lot of hard times. I was going
yeah,
to mention to you Crocodile Dundee. Have you
that's a
seen
good
that?
one.
That's getting a 4K release in Australia from Imprint.
Oh, is it?
But the problem is they're messing with it.
Oh, are they? Are they? Oh, yeah. I think you mentioned they're taking like the knife scene out or something, or like some like stupid scenes that don't make sense.
Well, they're also taking out a bit where he's in a bar, and there's a I don't know what the technical terms are. There's a guy dressed up as a lady, and he's thinks he's getting a
Transvestite.
date with her. Yeah, and he's getting a date with thinks, and one of them goes, his friend goes to him, that's not a lady, that's a guy, and he goes, no, he doesn't, and he grabs where you're not supposed to grab, shall we
Yeah.
say, and they're cutting that out to 4K. Now, I'm a person that maybe that the thing is transphobic, things like that, and maybe it's not of the times, but you shouldn't mess with history.
No, you shouldn't. You should
And
leave it as it is. Put a message at the start if people are going to get offended. Like I've noticed some of the Studio Canal classics now, right at the start, it has like a message saying that this film depicts outdated attitudes or something like that. That's all they need to
yeah,
do and leave it as it is.
because taking it out to me, you could say that a film is a piece of art, and you're destroying the artist's original vision by doing that. Now, whether that is original vision is right or wrong, you shouldn't take it out because then if you don't see mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them. You
Yeah,
know, so just pretending that it didn't exist and pretending that you didn't do that, I don't think helps anyone. And
no.
I wanted a Blu-ray of Crocodile Dundee, and I've not got one because I don't think it's out over here. And the
The
second one, I've not got that either.
only way I think you can get it on Blu-ray over here, and it might be well out of print now. I think HMV released it. You remember when they did those VHS releases and they had like 48
Okay.
hours? I think you can get it that way. I'm sure I've seen something like a box, VHS box of that, but that was years ago, so that's probably well out of print now.
Most likely, but I just hate when they alter stuff. You know,
Yeah, it's
take
really annoying.
just yeah, and whether people are offended with it or not, or whether it's right or wrong, it's not really the point. The point is that that was made. It was made that way.
Yeah,
Leave it as it is. And as you say, if you really need to put a warning in front of it, then do that. But
yeah,
I just think that's crazy. And that's why we probably collect physical media. What
yeah.
was it? There was a film
The
I
French
watched.
Connection was one of them, where they edited that a few years ago, just a scene, I think, and everybody started going to try and get the Blu-ray. I was one. I bought the double pack because I was just afraid that it was just going to disappear. Bit like Gone with the Wind. What that went a few years ago, and I managed to get a Blu-ray copy of that. But that just disappeared because people were getting offended by it for some reason, and then all of a sudden it was all right.
Well, I've got the French Connection 1 or 2 with Gene Hackman, and that's what I should really get around to watching because I've not watched them,
Oh, they're
not
both
watched them
really
yet.
good films. Even the second one's good as well.
I was just trying to think. There was another film well, The Simpsons. In season 3. They removed the Michael Jackson episode.
Oh, did
You'll
they?
never see. Have you seen the episode where they've got a Michael Jackson saxophone to
Is
play
that
his
why
voice?
is that why it's so hard to get the DVD release specifically just for Series 3 now? Yeah,
Yeah, even on Disney Plus, if you go on, that episode's not there. So
Yeah,
I've got seasons 1 to 11 of The Simpsons on DVD, and I'm reluctant to get rid of them because you're like, you can't rely on them not being changed.
yeah.
And there's another very famous one where they've altered something, and I can't remember what. I can't remember. See, this is what I mean. History's just going to erase itself because
You
nobody
can't
will ever
remember,
remember
yeah, exactly, yeah.
what. Oh yeah, I watched Amazon. I was watching Dodgeball
Oh yeah,
on Amazon. Have you have you
I've seen it
seen
years
the
ago.
basically the young guy that plays the Buddy in Die Hard 4? I don't know what his name is.
Is it Justin Long?
Yes, that's him. See,
Yeah. He was in
he's
Accepted as
playing
well, which is a really good film.
he's playing a nerd, and he's trying to get in the cheerleading squad, and nobody wants him to get in the cheerleading squad. So the team him up with the again. Is this the term? I can't be wrong for me to say it because I'm one. The fattest girl in the cheerleading squad, and he has to like lift her up above his head. And when he
Yeah.
lifts her up above her head, he drops her, and his head goes where it shouldn't go.
Oh,
And if you try and watch that on Amazon, that scene's not there, and that's one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie.
yeah. That's the thing with comedy now. They can just erase scenes that like. I'm afraid for like these 80, like The Naked Gun, Airplane, all of those sort of spoof comedies, because a lot of people are going to find those sorts of things offensive now, and I think it's stupid. I think if you don't like that humor, don't watch
Just to
it.
watch it,
Just don't watch
and
it.
that, and
Simple.
it made me put off the Amazon Prime thing, or it might have been Disney. It was one of them, but it made me put it off and then go and get my look. It's actually on the scene is actually on the spine. I'm going to grab it so you can see. Give me 2 secs. Yeah, that the scene what I'm talking about is actually on the spine.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see that.
yeah.
And
Just
they cut. I'll see if I can. Oh, this way. Yeah, so they cut it. They cut it out.
yeah,
They cut out that whole bit, and that was one of the for me. That was one of the funniest bits of the whole film. When you turned it on, you're just like, I'm surprised as well. I've not got the 4K of American Pie, and I would really like to get the 4K of American Pie. Have
I'm
you
surprised they
watched?
ain't
Have you?
cut stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was saying. I'm surprised they haven't cut the whole scene where he films it in the bedroom.
Well, I
Because that
I
really
think
seems
a lot of the stuff in that film would probably be cut nowadays if they did it.
exactly. But you know, they cut everything. It's comedy. It's not
Yeah,
meant to be saying really. I'll tell you what. Let's set up a webcam in your bedroom so you can get your friend undressing and send it to all your pals. It's not meant to say that's all right to do. It's supposed to be funny, and
yeah. That was the
and
purpose.
yeah, that's the purpose. It's supposed to be funny, and you can't. I don't think American Pie would be made these days at
No,
all.
there's a lot of films like that that I watched one the other night called was it? That was last night, called Saving Silverman. Again, it's got Jason Biggs in from American Pie, Jack Black, Steve Zahn. It's got Neil Diamond in as well, and it's got the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, Arlie Ermey.
I
Very
know what you
funny
mean.
film. Very funny film, but I was watching it and I was like, how have they got away with this stuff? Like nowadays, the whole premise of the film, they just couldn't, they just wouldn't be able to make because people would just be too offended to have it
It
exist. But it's just such a funny film. It's so funny.
it just reminded me of another Jason Biggs movie that I'm pretty sure you cannot get on Blu-ray that I want.
Is it Loser?
It is
I picked that up
with
in the
Mina
charity shop on
Navarro.
DVD. Yeah, I picked that the
That's a
other day
great
on
film. That's
DVD.
a great film. And where he's and it's this where the song from We As Teenage Dirtbag came from, wasn't it? Uh, I've got a message from Al. He's just telling me that Mule's in the deal. the Blu-ray of Mules in the deal for $3.99, and you know
There you
what? I
go.
might get it, but I will again. I've got to be. I could spend so much money on Blu-rays each month, but I've got to stick
Yeah,
to a reasonable amount of money that I can do that on. See, that's why I try and tend to get most of my stuff from CX. I went out at lunchtime today, and I go around the charity shops on a circular route on the way to CX and then back, see if I can find anything to trade in to get vouchers, because there is actually a few 4Ks in CX that I was looking at, but I'm out of vouchers at the moment because I say my son dropped his monitor and I had to get him a new one.
yeah,
So I found one DVD in the charity shop, which was it was an anime of some type, and it was for 50p, but I got a £4 voucher for it. So that's how I build up my vouchers and then do that. So no doubt the Mule and all of these movies will end up in CX at some point, and I'll be there to go, oh, and
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
and add it to the collection, because you could spend so much
I've been
money.
doing that
See,
with CEX as well. At the moment, my pile is 3 I've got in, but I think I counted and it's about £15 voucher I would get at the moment with just those 3 titles. So I'll give it a while until I've watched more that I don't want. But they're all like fairly like I got it's The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Old Boy, the Arrow Blu-ray because Tim gave me the box set, and The King of New York on 4K. That's Arrow. So they're all quite expensive anyway. So,
you only
but
get
yeah,
£15 for those.
for all of it, yeah. Well, it might be closer to 20, but
The
it
King of
wasn't
New
any
York,
more
I
than
thought you'd done okay with that. I thought you would do okay with that. The King of New York.
The
Yeah,
King of New
so
York. I didn't get on with that at all.
I've got it on. I've got on the Arrow Blu-ray, but I haven't watched it. It's Christopher Walken, isn't it?
Everybody that I've spoken to about it, Roy, Stewart, I think everybody that I've spoken to about that have seen it has said the same as me. It's just boring, and it is boring.
Never seen it. Not yet.
Yeah, it's just a very
That's it.
not much. It's just a not a very well made film. I don't think.
And that's the other thing as well. If you're buying blind, you really need to. I
Check.
don't like to buy blind, but if it's cheap in the charity shop, then I'll then I'll,
Yeah,
then I'll, then I'll
same.
get it, watch it, and then I can trade it. So yeah, there's loads of movies on my list that I could pull up. We Larry and Roy used to joke about what would we do if you could have a trolley dash in HMV. You know, you want a trolley dash in HMV.
Yeah.
How good would that be?
Oh my god.
They, they
You
should
just
do
be
that.
like literally just pulling them off. You wouldn't even care what they are.
They should do that as a competition. Yeah,
Just go to the Criterion section and just fill them out. You'd get thousands.
But then you'd miss out on all the 4Ks. You'd have to have some kind of method in your madness a wee bit
Yeah,
to yeah. Oh, I'd take some good box sets. What would I take? I would definitely take Babylon 5. I've not seen that, and I want to watch it on Blu-ray. I'd take that. I seen that Space Precinct was out. That's a great box set as well. I've not seen it, but you just be like, that would be
yeah.
that we should ask it. We should say HMV. That'd
See
be
if
a
they'll do
great
it. Yeah,
competition. Great competition. Trolley dash for number one entry into there. Well, that'd make up for all my pure points that they destroyed of me when they went bankrupt.
yeah,
But you do want them to. You do not want them. You do want them to succeed. But I
yeah.
say I can only buy so many movies a month. But maybe I should start
Same.
to
Yeah.
focus on ones I really, really want. Because, oh, uh, Jason from Jason's Movies and TV. Did I send that to you, Ollie? I don't know if I sent it to you about you did in America. I did, didn't I?
About the what?
Dinner in America Blu-ray on Arrow for £9.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that because that's on my list.
Well, it was on the Arrow sale for £9, and it trades for 21 at the CEX.
Oh, that's
So I
good.
bought two. Yeah, let's go and check what. I'll just check
I'd
if it's
probably
still
buy
on.
2 because that's one that I've had on my list to watch because I've heard it's quite good. But yeah, that'd be good to
Yeah,
trade in because you definitely be getting your money for that.
that's what dinner is. Is it dinner in America? Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's sold out.
Oh, oh well.
I did get a tip off from Jason to say that if you want a copy of that to get, so that's what I mean. I've spent enough. I got a copy of that. I also bought a copy of Thor: Love and Thunder. I've not seen
Oh
it
yeah,
yet, and it's on 4K, but it was on Zavi for a 4K steal with $6.99,
yeah,
which I thought was a pretty good deal. And I've still got that Zavi red carpet. Don't know why I've got that, but it's free delivery and you get 10% off. You think you pay like £10 a year for it, but I shouldn't. I've not really used it that much at all. But I thought
yeah,
£6 I'll take that. So that's what sometimes you got to be careful. Oh, I
yeah.
see Sai saying, will you be getting the
Will
new
you,
4K
yeah, that's out in June or
taking
July, isn't it?
taking a Fell 123 from Arrow? I've already ordered it. I'm presuming it's the original.
Yeah, I think it is the original. Yeah,
I prefer the remake.
yeah, you did
Okay,
say. Yeah,
that's one I prefer the remake on. I have got the original on Blu-ray, so really, will I be getting that on 4K? Probably not. If Arrow want to send me one for free, then I'll take
have
it.
you seen
I've
Stuart? Have
seen
you seen Stuart? Stuart, they must love Stuart. He gets his like weeks in advance. Because he got
from
one the other
Arrow.
day that's not out for another week. Yeah. Arrow sent him the Dress to Kill 4K. He got a whole month before it came out.
I've also seen a few people getting review copies from Arrow. Have you seen that?
Have you? I've not seen that yet. No. Didn't know
Uh,
they were doing
movies
that.
with movie with James got a 4K, and it's just like a screener. I never knew they used to do it. They do. I didn't think they'd done that over here. But
No,
it
I
was like
didn't either.
a screener for review, and I was like, how did you get that? I want one of them.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you've not got the package in. I've got the 4K movie. I'll be happy to
Yeah.
watch it and review it. Maybe they've seen my reviews and they like them. But, yeah, so I've got a few. I've got a few. Hi,
Hello,
Ellery.
Ellery. Oh, this is a good deal. Giz has pointed out. Have you seen Horizon, an American saga with Kevin Costner? Just seen Rare Waves is selling the Blu-ray for £8.50, reduced from £20. I need to get on that because that's one I want in the collection. But we've not even got part 2 yet.
It's not that. I'm like, I've spent too much. I can't. I'm like, I just can't.
I'm the same, but that's a big reduction in price, like 20
It is.
to
It is.
8.50 for, and I know it's good, it's an import, but it's a film I want, and if it goes back up again, I'm not likely to get it because I'm not going to spend £20 for it.
That's what happened with Flight of the Intruder. It was down on that Amazon Germany sale for like £8, and I was going to get it, and then when I went to get it, it was up to 17.95. And I'm like, well, you had it down for 8. I'm not going to pay 17.95 now,
Yeah,
am I? So, but again, I've got to be pragmatic, and
careful.
thinking about how many movies have I got on my shelf that I have not watched. So realistically, should I be doing that? That just reminds me, I did actually watch Point Break as well with Keanu Reeves
Oh yeah,
and
I've not seen
Patrick
that. I've only
Swayze.
seen the remake. The remake was awful, but I do want to watch the original.
Oh, the remake is absolutely shocking,
Yeah, it's
shockingly
really
bad.
bad. Yeah,
It is, but the original, and that's one I do want on 4K as well. And it's got a really, really nice slipcover with a nice silver
it
top on it.
does. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Lovely
Yeah,
slipcover on it, and that's a really good film with Patrick Swayze. I enjoy, and but when I rewatch movies, it might be I don't watch them every year, but maybe once or twice every couple of years. But I've maybe seen Point Break 20 times, so that's
yeah,
one I'll definitely want to. But again, you've got to balance your budget with space
yeah,
and also
definitely.
be again, acute reality that be realistic that you can't have everything unless you're
It's really bad though,
millionaire.
but I would say a lot of the Blu-rays, like with notwithstanding the ones that I've not even watched yet, but a lot that are already in my collection, the actual copy of the Blu-ray, a lot of them I've probably not even watched yet. They're probably ones that I've just bought because I've seen the film before and like it, and I've just not put on. And I'd say there's a lot in my collection that probably fall in that category, which is bad because if you're buying something, you shouldn't just buy it for it to sit on your shelf for years. Really, you should buy it and then at least watch it, even if you have seen it before, so then you feel like you've actually already got a bit of value out of it.
I like your thoughts on it, but well, I've got a couple of kids. We've got a lot of working full time. Weekends are full. Believe it or not, I do karate on a Saturday morning, and then I go to ice hockey on a Saturday night, and then just generally Sunday I do the food shopping, and then I've got sometimes make meals, and by that time I'm taxed. So I'm like, I'm 46 now, and I'm thinking, well, as long as these movies last 20 years and they don't disc rot, I'm going to have a great retirement
Yeah,
watching all these movies. But the thing is with that as well, if you don't get them now, there's real chances that they're going to go out of print.
yeah.
That's my thoughts. Have you seen Ghostbusters 2 has gone out of print
The
on
4K,
4K?
yeah, you can't get the 4K. I've not got either of. Shockingly, I've not got either of those films in my collection. I've only got the newer films because I wanted the 4Ks, and when I went round to looking to get them, the second ones you just can't get the 4K anymore, and the first ones going that way as well now, getting really expensive.
And at the time I got it, it was a 9.99 on an HMV special.
Yeah,
So sometimes you just have to bite the bullet, take it. And if it sits on my shelf for a while, I'm okay with that. I really am because I know that when I'm ready, and I've in my living room, I've got a surround sound system. It's not an Atmos or anything like that. It's a 5.1. But with kids and family and things like that, you can't always put that on and sit down and immerse yourself in a film. So when I'm ready to sit down and immerse myself in a film, it's ready for me to like I've got the Superman films there, and I really like Superman 3. Everybody hates that one, but I really like it. And I've got Superman 2 sitting there, which was the Richard Donner cut, which was 14.99 at the time on Amazon, and I'm like, I'm going to get that because guaranteed that's going to end up out of print. I've also got a lot of the Star Trek movies on 4K, and you're starting to see them without the slip covers now. And Star Trek's probably my favourite franchise. And I'm like, if I'm going to get the movies in 4K, I want the slips. I don't want them without
yeah.
the slips. So I try and do that. So I'm okay with movies sitting on my shelf that I've not watched because I know they're there ready for me to watch and put on when I'm ready to do that. And like you said, if you didn't pick up Ghostbusters, then look what's happened. It's gone out. It's gone out of print. And I can see more and more 4Ks going that way. And I say you see it with a lot of the 2000 Blu-rays films that you wouldn't think would be out of print, like what Ghost Ship
Yeah, or House of
2008,
Wax.
yeah, or yeah, things like that. What's the other one? Dark Water. It's with Jennifer Connelly.
I've got
That's
that
like
one. Yeah,
I
I've
haven't
got that
got it,
one.
and it's like 28 quid now, isn't it?
I got the
Have
last
you,
copy on CEX for about 25 quid, and I looked on eBay and it goes for about £100.
and that's what I was saying. But I would never buy a movie because it's out of print for the value of it. I'd only buy it if it's out of print and it's like I really want to watch. So like the 28 days later, everybody you've seen this before about that.
Yeah,
Everybody's trying to get the Blu-ray. I've got it sitting up there in my Danny Boyle collection that I think I paid £8 for on Amazon about three
I
or
think I
four
paid
years
even
ago.
cheaper. I think I paid about £3 for the standard Blu-ray, and now what do they want? Like 20 quid for the more than that? I expect for just 28 Days Later.
Yep, and it's now on Amazon. You can now stream it on there for £8. But you're like, so sometimes getting it when it's cheap and realizing you're never going to get to watch everything that you
Yeah,
back. You know, I've picked what's that 7 movies this week and a TV show. The chances of me getting through the 7 movies and a TV show in a week are slim. And I say I don't know if you've seen my latest video
yeah, I did.
where
Yeah,
I got the John Wayne DVDs now.
the picture quality. Yeah,
Yeah, and there was 16 or 17 John Wayne DVDs there, and Hellfighters was one which is a fireman one which I really wanted. That's really expensive to get on Blu-ray as well. So if you've seen that, so sometimes you just got to pick them up when you can. So I'm okay with things sitting on my shelf remaining unwatched because I know that it might be really expensive to get them in the future. Uh, Again, Larry was really kind to me, and he sent me the Demolition Man 4K because that's another one I really wanted, and that's already started going massively in price. I think
yeah,
Larry was looking for it. I was looking for it himself, and I found the place that had it for round about the same price it was released for. But now that's starting to, escalate to a high price. So sometimes you're better just to get them when you can afford them, obviously within your means.
yeah. What are your thoughts? I'll ask you whilst this, because it's just started, I think. What are your thoughts on Mickey Rourke joining Celebrity Big Brother?
Is that the UK one?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
started now tonight. I've never watched
I,
it, but
I
I think I'm going to watch it because I'm just intrigued.
I've watched Celebrity Big Brother for the first 2 or 3 series, but or the first and Big Brother from the start, but after that I just wasn't interested, to be honest with you. Because to be honest with you, you could in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks time there'll be a YouTube short of all his best moments, and that's all you're
Yeah,
gonna need to
true.
watch.
Yeah,
That's yeah. So you could spend weeks watching it, and then you could narrow it down into I quite like the F1, but I've not got the Sky Sports or anything like that. But recently, I've just been going on to YouTube, and there's a highlights of the entire F1 in 7 minutes. And you're like, somebody spent
yeah,
4 hours watching that, and I watched it every good bit in 7 minutes.
yeah.
But that's probably a big coup for him. It must be paying him a lot to go in there for that.
Well, yeah, because although he doesn't really do anything anymore, he's still like a huge name. Like the only other big name that's been in it before, I would say, is Gary Busey, which was years ago now.
I like the wrestler from Mickey Rourke. I think that's a great film. Have you
Yeah,
seen that?
yeah. He almost won an Oscar for that, didn't he?
I think that's a really good film and a really good portrayal of a wrestler. I think
Angel
so. I
Heart's a
think
good one as well. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that, no.
Really dark
But
that is as well.
I've heard of it. But it's that wrestler. But my wife's a big wrestling fan. I keep trying to get her to watch that, but she's not watched it yet. So hopefully she'll watch it one day. But I thought that was it. Sorry. The wife says she's not watched it for years, but the rest of the I thought that was a really good portrayal of a wrestler, and I liked him with his wee caravan, wee NES, playing it, showing the life and all the steroids and all that. I just thought that was I thought it was an excellent movie. That's getting me the urge to watch that again. And where will it be on my shelf? No chance to find it in my collection.
Have you seen the Iron Claw?
I've not yet, but that's another one I got in that mega haul.
Yeah,
So it's sitting beside the. So that's what I mean. When I'm in the charity shop and there's 18 Blu-rays there, okay, and I can buy them in one day. There's no way I'm going to watch 18 movies
well,
in a week, am I?
yeah,
You know,
no,
what was it? 18 Blu-rays and 30 DVDs.
yeah. There
So
was a
that's
lot.
like
Well, it's three
that's what I mean.
videos, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's 50. I think that's 52 films in a day. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying I'm comfortable with them sitting on my shelf unwatched because
yeah,
I don't watch a massive amount, but they will get watched eventually. And if then I don't like them, then I'll get rid of them. But I'm not going to do that till I've uh actually watched them. So yeah, so I'm all right with movies remaining. And I know what you're saying. They shouldn't remain sealed on the shelf and all dust and you know 3 or 4 years. But you've got them now. They're yours. That's what I like about
that's true.
physical media.
Because I bought the 4K of Monkey Man last summer when it came out, and I saw that one at the cinema and really liked it. And it's one that I'm like, I want to go back to that now, but it's still sealed. I've still not seen it. But like you say, I've got it now. So when I do want to watch it, it's there and I don't have to worry about it.
Or scroll through 15 streaming services, find out none of them have
Yeah.
got it, and also then so you have to rent it for £8.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking at some box sets on Amazon Prime, just the prices on them as well. Some of the prices are
Expensive. Yeah.
unbelievable. It's like buy the box set. I've got Westworld. Like, have you seen the series? Have you seen the whole series of Westworld?
I've got one, two, and three, but I've only seen the first half of the first series.
I've seen the whole of season 1, and I got that out of CEX, and at the time I had the digital code in it, so you could still put the digital code in. And on you, I don't know if have you got any digital codes?
Yeah, I got loads on YouTube.
That's why I've got about like 80 or films and a few TV shows, random series. And I've got the first season of Westworld on there, but I've never managed to get season 2 or season 3 or season 4 of Westworld. And I'm thinking, well, I could just look and see how much price that is to watch season. And they want like £50 for it. You're like, what?
You can get the Blu-ray a lot cheaper than that.
I know, and I will do, and it'll appear in CX where I'll get it also seen season 3 and things like that. But that's what I'm saying. There's loads of stuff to watch, and I'm not going to go onto YouTube and go. I'm just going to pay £50 to watch one season. Who does that?
Yeah, I got so much. I got the first three series of Westworld, the first three series of True Detective, which I've still not seen.
I've seen the
I've
first
got,
season of True Detective. That's excellent.
I saw the last one with Jodie Foster, but I've still not seen the first three. So I need to. But like I said, I've got them now, so I can watch them whenever I want.
I've only got
Um,
series 1.
I got the first two series of Yellowstone. Obviously, I've seen all of Yellowstone, but I've only got the first two series so far.
I've only got season 2 on DVD because the Blu-rays for Yellowstone are really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, I think I got that. It was during some sort of Amazon sale, and it was before because I started watching the first series of Yellowstone back when it was on. But I think I must have only ever watched the first episode, and then I saw that deal, and it was during. I'm sure it was during one of the lockdowns or something, and I started watching it, and then I binged series 1, series 2, and then I think we had to wait for series 3 because that wasn't available over here until they launched Paramount Plus. So I got Paramount Plus, binged series 3, and then I think a few months later series 4 started, and then is it series 5's the last series, isn't it? And it was two parts,
It is
wasn't
with
it?
a split. I've
I've not
watched
seen
all
the
the
second
way.
half.
I haven't, but YouTube Shorts have ruined it for me because I've seen what
Oh, me
happens.
too. I know loads of characters die. I know loads of
Yeah,
characters die in it.
and the thing with that is I think that Yellowstone is really out of print now because it's on the streaming channels. It's
Yeah,
only going to get, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you've just got to get them when you can because the
yeah.
prices of them. I've got the last ship. I don't know. Have you ever seen the last
I've
ship?
heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
I've got the first. I thought that was a great series. I've got the first 3 series of that. but to try and get series 4 and 5 is ridiculous, like pricey.
Yeah.
So sometimes I bet you when they first came out, you were like they were cheap, and now I can't get them to finish them off. And I've only watched the series 3 because I didn't want to watch series 4 and 5 until I owned them. It is on Amazon, but I was just like, I'd rather own them. So sometimes again, you've just got to get them when you can within your budget, and that means you sometimes buy ones that you might not watch right away. But there you go.
It's like I've got the Twin Peaks set, which has the original series and the new series. I think I got that on eBay for about £20, and I know it goes for a lot more than that now. So I got it at the right time. So this is Resident Aliens, another one. Do you know that series? And the first two
Um,
series, the American release has been on for like, I think it was Amazon Italy for like £5. Like, I think the first one was about a year ago, and then someone put in one of the groups a few months ago that the second one had dropped as well. So I've got the first two series, so that's still sealed. So I'm hoping they do the same for series 3, and I think series 4's just started, because I saw the start of the first series when it was on the telly, and it's really good series, quite funny as well.
and that's I say that's the thing. You've got to get them when you can. So having them unwatched for me is not so much a problem. I know it's there, and we're ready. Have we got more comments on there, or are we way behind,
Yes,
or are
we
we
have.
ahead?
Yeah. I've been rewatching Brookside right from the beginning of STV Player, and they put a warning up before each episode of that. It's, it's safer to
I
do
remember
that.
Brookside.
Yeah,
Sheila,
it's safe
Sheila, and Jim Royal.
before my time, I think.
Yeah, you know Jim Royal. He was in that, and yeah. My wife, but not my wife. My mum used to watch Brookside all the time. So I was always up to the soaps till about 2007 when she died, and then I'm way behind after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is some episodes and things like that, and EastEnders. There's yeah, actually,
But
I don't
the
know what
issue is anything can offend anyone now. Literally anything can, to some extent, can extend someone. So you've just got to be careful. Like, if you look at something and read it like a DVD or something or anything, if you look at something and you read it and you think, I don't know, this could offend me because of
just
da
don't
da da da
watch it.
da, just don't watch it, and then it won't offend you because you're not watching it.
For some reason on my YouTube, it has actually been bringing up really old EastEnders clips, and there's
Oh, I've been
one in
watching the
it.
classic stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It is classic stuff, and it's the one, and it's the episode where Mark tells Pauline and Arthur
Oh,
that
he's
he's
got
got
AIDS. Yeah,
HIV. But well, he says he's got HIV, and they're trying to explain the difference. But that could be
yeah,
considered not well handled in today's thing. But it doesn't mean that that's not what was on TV and that's what everyone was talking about at the
yeah.
time. So you're right. So just if you want to put a warning, but if you go about life getting offended about absolutely everything, you're not going to get very far.
Well, exactly. Uh, I found a double blue pack of both Crocodile Dundees a few years back for about £1. Also got the HMV VHS one. £1.
I see.
Wow.
I see. I was always great at finding
He does
stuff
the
in
car
charity
boot sales,
shops.
doesn't he?
Well, he does a whole range of charity shops where he lives, and I'm always like finding, seeing what he's finding. He's actually put on Facebook today. He's 10 for £1, and he's got the Omega Man HMV Premium collection in it,
Oh, wow.
and 10 for £1. And you're like, wow,
That's a find.
you know, especially I looked for that for absolutely months and months. I pre-ordered it on HMV, it went out of stock, and I eventually got it in CX. But I paid £10, he paid 10p. So he's actually he's a even better charity finder than me.
Well, I made myself a mug with that. I had the original Blu-ray release of the Omega Man before the HMV, and obviously I watched it and I didn't like it, so I put it up on Vinted for sale. Usually, I'll check on eBay to see what things are going for before I put the price up. And I just looked at it. I thought this ain't going to be going for much. So I think I think it sold for £5. I then looked on eBay to find that it actually sells for like £20. So I'd been ripped off, but I felt bad and I didn't want to cancel the order because it's not their fault. It's my fault that I didn't check.
Well, I missed out on a couple. I scrolled through Vintage quite a lot, and I missed out on a couple on Sunday last week, and I was really annoyed because they had Death Proof for £1,
Oh, wow.
and and as I'm trying to buy it like this, trying to buy it, somebody bought it before I could, and there was also a couple of other out of print ones, and I'm trying to go like this, and I didn't get any of them. I didn't get any of them, but I did actually get a couple of vintage uh, ones the other day. There was £1 for the Green Book. Have you seen the Green Book?
Oh, Green Book. Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah. So that was up for £1. And the guy who was selling at the same time the premium collection copy of The Shining for £3.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's like I paid like seven. We postage, I think it was £6, £7 in total. That's what I mean. I've been spending a wee bit, and there's so many you could just go in and buy, but you just like I've spent enough for now, shall we say?
Yeah. Could you imagine if they cut out all the offensive material from Blazing Saddles, it would end up being the opening and end credits. They just won't be able to make. I was shocked when they released the 4K last year because I thought that was a film that was just going to be buried. And I've only just watched it in the last few weeks. And you're right. They literally, from the start to the end, all of that could be considered offensive because just the plot of the whole plot of the film is, if anyone that's watching hasn't seen it, it's about basically a town. Basically, the mayor decides it would be a great idea to get everyone leaving this town to shoo them out because they want to build the railway through this town to just install a person of color. I think that's the correct term as sheriff. Because they think obviously nobody would like that, but then the complete opposite happens, and they all really get along and all really like him, and yeah, you just couldn't get away with that. And Mel Brooks playing an Indian as well. It's just some of the stuff in that's just like very much. They just
Never
couldn't do.
never seen it, and I don't own it. That's what I've
You've
never seen
never
of the
seen it.
CX. No.
I'm not a big fan of Mel Brooks. Of the two films I've seen now, Spaceballs and that, his comedy just seems to fly over my head. I get it, but I just don't find it funny. But just the premise, if you wrote the premise of Blazing Saddles on a piece of paper and pitched it to a Hollywood studio, they'd throw it in your face because you just couldn't do something like that nowadays.
Or this, for example.
Oh yeah, I've got that and I've still not seen it. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr.'s character in that definitely, and that's only like 15 years ago. That's not that long
I
ago.
don't know. No,
It's
but
crazy.
the thing about that is he's doing it as the irony that people done that, and that's what's. I think that's went over people's heads, that he
Yeah,
understands that this is wrong, and he's doing that to show what people did in an ironic way. But
yeah,
again, I don't think they get away with it. But as you're saying, as long as they put a warning in front of it, say that, I think they shouldn't leave them. Should leave them alone, and let people make their own minds up.
yeah, definitely. Al said, bye lads, take care. Thanks for joining, Al. We are at the end of the comments, I think. So might be it for now. I don't know how many people are watching still. 6 people. If anyone wants to send in any more comments, do it now because I think we'll wrap up soon. Because I think it's
I
running
was looking
slow.
forward to redeeming myself on the quiz tonight, but given your
I think you would
questions,
have.
Ollie, I don't know. So maybe next time
Well,
we'll.
it would
I'll,
have been you against Roy and Tim, so I think you'd have had a fair chance. I think the last 2 quizzes I've done, there's been one person that's had more knowledge than everyone else. Because last week Pete had insane film knowledge, and Andy obviously has insane film knowledge. So I think this week you would have been all right.
But what you should do is do another one, get 3 winners, and then put them all up against each other,
Yeah.
like Andy, Pedro, and that. Where's Sam tonight?
He is staying with his parents until Thursday, so he couldn't make it this week. But he told me,
Yeah,
he said
fair
to
enough.
still go ahead with it. He wanted it to go ahead because he's been in every single stream since the first one, except for this one. So I was a bit apprehensive to do it without him because we've done all of them together. But he gave me his blessing, and I thought it's like he said, it's become a Monday night staple now of just doing the live
Yeah,
stream.
and fair enough. As say, if not everybody can make it, then you just
Yeah,
keep going with what you've got. Oh, we've done all right tonight for
we
the two
did.
of us. I thought there was some interesting topics, and
Definitely.
things that we wouldn't maybe not have talked about if there was a quiz on. So yeah, so
Exactly.
that's fine.
It's
Yeah, well,
just
I
a
don't think
shame.
you've got any more.
Yeah, it's just a shame that Roy and Tim couldn't join but illness
Well,
gets in the way of everything.
there's always next week.
Exactly.
For them. And I'm off on holiday next week for a week, so I'm
Nice.
happy to join in if you want me to. I've got
Yeah,
week's
of
holiday
course. I think what we'll
holiday.
do is because I've written all the questions for the quiz. So what we'll do is we'll do the quiz that was supposed to be tonight, next Monday. I'm not sure if Roy will join because he usually is doing it every other week, but seeing as he didn't do
Because
it
he's
this week,
missed
he
this
might.
one. I would have
Yeah.
thought he would, because he missed this one, he would have
And we'll have
he would
Sam
do
back
that.
next week. We might do an epic quiz next week, see if we can get quite a few people on. I think obviously we'll see if Jodie wants to come back because she didn't win. She got close to winning as well. Um,
Well, well,
I
I'll
don't
be
know if
honest with you, my film knowledge isn't great. It's my memory. I think it is. Yeah.
some of the questions I've done for the next one. I did really have to think. It's taken me 3 days to. I've written them over the last three
What?
days, but it's some of them is like one of them's like a question about a specific film and what actor was originally supposed to be in that film.
I think will I tell you the answer now and ruin it?
The answer now, it could be anything though.
I know. Do you want to tell you what? Eric Stoltz.
No, it's not Back to the Future. No, it's a
It's not
film of
that
this.
one.
It's
Yeah.
a film of this that came out around the same time, but yeah, I'll
Is
leave it.
is it the guy for the Warriors?
No,
So right, I'm trying to get a head start now. I'm not cheating, but I was just thinking because the you know the guy that what's the guy that plays Kyle Reese, Michael Bean.
yeah,
He wasn't supposed to be in Aliens. The guy for the Warriors was supposed to be in Aliens, but he got caught doing drugs or something like that,
um,
and Michael Beale got rushed in to replace him. And if you have a look at Aliens when you're watching it, Michael Bean's costume doesn't fit him because it's been designed for the guy that was supposed to be in it.
yeah,
So you can see it's far too big for him, and I think that actually adds to the appeal. It looks like he's totally dishevelled and misshaped.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
Got a few
it
more
says
comments.
I'm going to watch
I'm going
Empire
to.
Records tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I've not seen that before. It's supposed to be a good film
I've
though.
got Liv Tyler's in it. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
got the DVD, but I've not. Again, I've not watched it. You know, my DVD. See, I don't know if you can see, but I've got like 5 metal boxes full of DVDs that are
yeah.
sitting there.
I've got this, which was thanks to you. You gave me the inspiration to get it. I think it can hold. I don't know how many. It can hold about 200 discs, and it's already half full. It's
Well,
all my
and
DVDs.
well, the thing with that is it's just so much better for storage. You know,
Yeah, it is.
it's just so much better for storage. And as much as I like a nice clip cover and like a nice movie, if I can't have that, I'd rather just have the movie. You
Yeah,
know, if you've not got the space, I'd rather just. There's some movies I wouldn't be case. And Jason from Jason's Movies and TV sent me these really nice. These are steelbook protectors, but they're on my Star Trek ones. But they're just plastic, but it just protects it. It just makes it look even better.
yeah.
So they're great. Well, there isn't. Oh, there's one more
There's
question.
two more. Yeah, there's.
Is there?
Gis said, "Cheers for now, guys. Going to try not to look into this HMV sell and keep the debit card in the wallet. Good idea. I think I'll stick with that idea as well."
And then in 2 years' time there'll be a movie that you want to watch, and it was on there for £3.99, and now it's 50 quid.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I said, "Have you seen the new trailers for Havoc and the Phoenician Scheme? I'm really looking forward to seeing Havoc. It's from the director of the Raid films. It has Tom Hardy in it too." Yeah, I've watched both of those trailers and they both look very good.
I haven't, and I haven't seen the Raid 1 and 2 either, even though I own them.
The
But I
first
know
Raid's
that.
really good.
But is the film with the Dread film with Carl Urban based on the first Raid?
I think it is, yeah. It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of got the gist of what it is. The Raid is probably a building, and the people trapped in it and try to get out, like law enforcement.
Havoc looks the same sort of thing. It's Tom Hardy, he plays a cop that's got to protect this kid, I think. And everyone's after them. And there's a lot of
It's not.
shooting, lots of crazy action.
It's not like
And it was
Last
filmed in
Action Hero.
Cardiff. What was that?
It's not a Last Action Hero.
No.
No, like a comedy one.
No, it's serious, gritty
Serious one.
action
Yeah.
violence, yeah. And the Phoenician Scheme's Wes Anderson's new film, which looks good. I don't. From the trailer, it doesn't look like his best. It was a bit weird and confusing. If you asked me to explain what happened in the trailer, I probably couldn't because it's not very clear. There's just lots of quick cut scenes to lots of different actors that are in it. Because obviously his films always have loads of people in it. There's like Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, Benedict Cumberbatch, obviously Benicio del Toro's the lead, Richard
Oh,
Ayoade.
that reminds me. I did watch another movie last week, which has got Bryan Cranston in it, and I think it's a great film. It's Jerry and Marge Go Large. Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
that is a really good film. Annette Bening as well. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, yeah. So I watched that. I watched that as well, and that's not the first time I've watched it, but I just think it's a really good film. So
And I think the only
there
way
we
you
go.
can get that is, I think there's an American Blu-ray import, but that's probably really expensive.
That's what I mean. You know, got to get them when you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for
Oh,
joining, everyone. What were
yeah.
you going to say? Sorry, James.
I was just going to say I watched The Ultimate Gift as well.
Oh,
I don't
is
know if
that
you've
the
seen
one
that.
with James Garner?
Yeah, and he's teaching his grandson to be respectful with money and things like that, a bit like Brewster's Millions, so to speak.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
All right, well,
Well, thank you
I'll
for
let Ollie
joining,
wrap things
everyone.
up.
Yeah, thanks for joining, James, as well. I don't think I'd have been able to do it on my own. Don't think I'd have been able to keep the conversation flowing. So thanks for joining me.
That's all right. That's no bother.
And yeah, we will go again this time next week, hopefully.
I
So
had
yeah,
my pen and paper all ready for the quiz, so
I
I'll keep
know.
it for next time.
Next time. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
See you later. Bye.